Good evening, and welcome to the Township Committee meeting of February the 23rd of 2016. Ms. Bork, please call the roll.
Freeman Burchett.
Here.
Freeman McCauley.
Here.
Tim Thompson.
Here.
Senator Sarachi.
Here.
Mayor Delcor.
Here, please join me in a salute to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be advised that in accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, that notice of this meeting was made by the posting on the bulletin board at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex and notifying the officially designated newspapers that this meeting would take place at the Hillsborough Township Municipal Complex at 7:30 p.m. on February the 23rd of 2016. First off, let's go to approval of minutes. First is the approval of the October 13th, 2015 executive session. Could I have a motion to approve the minutes of the October 13th, 2015 executive session?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Freeman Burchett.
Yes.
Freeman McCauley.
Yes.
Tim Thompson.
Yes.
Senator Sarachi.
Yes.
Mayor Delcor.
Yes. And next we have the approval of the February 9th, 2016 regular session meeting minutes. Could I have a motion to approve these minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Freeman Burchett.
Yes.
Freeman McCauley.
Yes.
Freeman Thompson.
Yes.
Senator Sarachi.
Yes.
Mayor Delcor.
Yes. We will move to reports from committee liaisons. First up, Committee Member Shett.
Just have one thing tonight, Mayor. Happy birthday, by the way, you old fart. Hillsborough Township 2016 annual cleanup coupons will be available starting March 1st. This is for both senior pickup and access to the Auten Road facility. Coupons are available at the Department of Public Works Garage located at 21 East Mountain Road next to the YMCA from 7 a.m. till 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Flyers with all the information will be in Friday's e-newsletter and posted at the Township website. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Committeewoman McCauley.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, and again, happy birthday. I'd sing, but you'd probably be offended, so I wouldn't do that.
Thank you.
So thanks for being here tonight, actually, on your birthday. With that said, I just wanted to announce that the Hillsborough Board of Fire Commissioners held their annual election this past Saturday. The budget was approved with 305 yes votes and 48 no votes. Both of the capital questions were also approved. And I wanted to send out a congratulations to Charlie Nuera and John Catchabon on the re-election for fire commissioners this year. Also, the 2016 Outstanding Woman in Somerset County Awards Dinner, sponsored by the County Commission on the Status of Women, will be held on Friday, March 18th. Information on tickets can be found on Friday's newsletter or contacting Somerset County. We're happy to congratulate again that there are women from Hillsborough to be awarded. 4 women this year: Hillary Scanelli, Lois Bennett, Paulette Brown, and Dr. Laureen Wolf. We'll be honoring these women as well in a future Township Committee meeting with a proclamation this year. So that's it for me this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Committeeman Thompson.
First up for me this evening, we have our Cultural Arts Commission will be hosting the 2016 Art and Photo Expedition, March 11th to 13th. There will be a reception held on March 11th from 7 to 9 p.m. I think it'll be kicking off closer to 8 o'clock that night. The deadline to register is Sunday, March 6th, and the exhibition is open to all adults and students residing in Somerset, Mercer, and Hunterdon counties. And there's a maximum of 2 entries per person. For more information, you can find that in the Township e-newsletter and also on our website. Also, regarding recreation, the Spring Soccer League registration is open for all leagues. Leagues are open to children ages 3 to grade 12, and all games are played on Saturdays at various township soccer fields, and registration deadline for that is March 11th, and the season starts on April 9th. Also, girls softball registration is open right now. Those leagues are kindergarten through 12th grade. Teams will play or practice 2 to 3 times per week at various township softball fields, and the registration deadline for that is March 4th, and the season starts on March 28th. And last but not least, save your calendars for the annual Run Around the Park. You can join us for the 3rd annual recreational fun run on April 2nd at Ann Van Middlesworth Park. Registration is required in advance, so please visit our website and the e-news for additional information. That is all from me tonight, Mayor, and happy birthday.
Thank you very much. And Deputy Mayor Sirachi.
Thank you, Mayor, and happy birthday to you as well. First up, in the area of finance, I've mentioned this past couple of meetings, pet owners, you have until February 29th, which is next Monday, to license your dogs for 2016. Your pet must have a valid rabies vaccination, good through October of this year. Please contact the finance office for additional information. Next up, Board of Education. The Board of Education of Hillsborough will hold a special school district election on Tuesday, March 8th, on a capital improvement referendum, and we will be hearing from Dr. Schiff, who's in the second row, in a little bit, giving us more details on that referendum. And last but not least, Credit Card Advisory Committee. First had their reorganization meeting, so I just wanted to congratulate Maria Volio as being nominated or being selected as chair. And I believe our Pam Borek is vice chair. There you go, got a nod. And also Barbara Mertinger was selected to be secretary for this year. And as such, the most important thing they did, I guess for the meeting this year, or at least the start of it, was to formally open up the grant application process. So applications are available on the township website, or they can be picked up in the administration office. The application process opened for any township-based nonprofit, senior or youth organization. They may apply for grants up to $2,000, and it's funded through the Hillsborough Township Credit Card Rewards Program. Our rewards program through the grant application process is a great resource for our local organizations to obtain needed funding for equipment that they need, and it all comes without any expense to Hillsborough taxpayers. It's fully financed or managed through Affinity Federal Credit Union. Our committee maintains a successful track record of awarding grants to various organizations. I believe we are upwards of $45,000 in total over the last few years. And again, the way that this program is funded is through the use of the credit card. So those credit cards are obtained and utilized. They regenerate the funds that go into that trust fund to grant future grants for our youth and seniors. So I encourage everyone, if they haven't, or if they've walked into Affinity and may have seen this at a distance, this is the application for the actual credit card. I'm a card-carrying member, and I know the mayor is because his name is down here on the credit card that's shown in here, but I do not believe it has your number on it.
That is not my real number,
No.
so anybody wants to steal my identity, that is not the right one.
So, again, I urge if you do know any of the youth or senior organizations to please let them know. It's free to apply, and $2,000. It's not bad. It's very difficult to come by, with some free money. And that's all I have this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. A couple items from me this evening. First of all, I would like to echo the sentiments of Committeewoman Macaulay and offer congratulations to Commissioners Nuera and Cachabon for their election to the Fire Commission. The Lewis Bay Second Future Municipal Leader Scholarship, just a reminder that we have a deadline on that scholarship, is March the 10th. This is the third year that the township has participated and partnered with the school district to participate in this scholarship opportunity. So anyone that would like to submit an application, please remember that March 10th is the deadline for that. We have had recently a number of reasons for our residents to stay connected, which I'll obviously talk about in a minute. But if you want to be connected, we are trying to get information out in many different forms. We have our e-newsletter, which there are cards in the back if anyone wants to sign up for that. But also, please sign up for Nixle and our Honeywell alert system, and also Twitter, just to make sure that all the various modes of communication that we try to get out, both emergency and non-emergency, you're able to get connected there. Obviously, we had a pretty significant event that we wanted to make sure everyone was connected and getting information out. I know most of you are aware at this point, we had a significant fire breakout at the Somerville Industrial Park on Thursday, February the 10th, in one of 4 industrial warehouses that sit on that site. The fire quickly escalated into one of the largest fires in recent memory, not only for Somerset County, but also one of the largest fires in recent memory in the state. By Thursday evening, 2 of the warehouses, 2 buildings, each roughly 240,000 square feet, had been engulfed in flames in the blaze. Through the dedicated work of our firemen, our firefighters, and all the personnel on staff, coupled with other emergency responders in other towns, we were able to contain the fire to the 2 buildings by early Friday morning, despite significant risk of further spreading as a result of mainly the significant winds that were ongoing at that time. Fortunately, the fire did not spread to any of our nearby residential areas, and injuries were very limited from the blaze. We had both DEP and the EPA on site doing monitoring of air quality, and by midday Friday, they concluded that the air quality test showed no quality issues, and there was no health threat from the contaminants in the air. As you can imagine, the fire was extremely difficult to contain, given both the sheer magnitude of the blaze, coupled with the challenges presented to our firefighters through the wind and the extreme cold that were evident that night for anyone that was outside that evening. Hillsborough firefighters and emergency responders here in town were certainly put to the test in battling that fire. I know I speak for all of my colleagues on the Township Committee when I say that we are so thankful and grateful and appreciative to our firefighters, to our team of fire marshals led by our Fire Marshal Chris Winiger, our Office of Emergency Management led by John Sheridan, all of our police officers, our EMS crews, and the township staff who work so hard in spite of the brutal conditions at that Somerville Industrial Park to fight this fire. Our local firefighters here are all volunteers, but they were certainly willing to lay their lives on the line to protect the community and respond to this difficult challenge, and we owe them a tremendous debt of gratitude. In addition, the response that we received as a community from the county and our neighboring towns was simply amazing. We received support from more than 30 municipalities in 5 counties adjacent to us. In total, we expected there was more than 200 vehicles from other towns came to help us combat the fire, providing equipment and tankers of water. And we are extremely grateful to all those communities that helped us and supported us in our time of need. The Somerville Industrial Park is a federal property over which Hillsborough has very little jurisdiction regarding code enforcement. And as a result of being a federal property, for the past week, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms National Response Team has been working with Hillsborough's fire marshals, the New Jersey Division of Fire Safety, and the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs in conducting the investigation into the cause of the fire. We have a couple of representatives from the ATF here with us tonight. I'll have them come up in a few minutes and provide their a little update on some of their findings. As a result of the limited jurisdiction that we have over the site, Hillsborough will be working with Congressman Lance's office. We have a representative from Congressman Lance's office, Amanda Walshine, here with us this evening, trying to seek reimbursement for some of the township costs incurred in battling the fire. We appreciate the work of Congressman Lance helping us with that. Certainly we had significant costs incurred from some of the responders that we had on site, our police officers, some other personnel that were there, and certainly very important to us from a municipality to work with the congressman to seek those funds from the federal government. Also, as I noted earlier, the air quality testing was conducted for the first several days of the fire, and there were shown to be no air quality issues. However, the health risk could have been significantly worse had the mercury stockpile that was on an adjacent property remained on site during the course of this fire. There has been much concern over this. There's been some recent articles written about this, and I am very thankful to confirm that there is no mercury and has not been since 2010 on that adjacent property. And that's the result of the efforts of this township committee, as well as the efforts of Congressman Lance and his staff to remove that mercury out to the desert of Nevada back in 2010. I know, I speak for my colleagues up here, we're very proud of that, and we're very thankful that as a result of this fire, we didn't have a significantly worse situation as a result of that mercury stockpile that had been there for many, many years. In closing, I'd like to express my sincere thanks to township employees and volunteers for outstanding preparedness and organization throughout this process. In particular, I'd like to call out a couple people. Pamela Bork, our clerk, who also serves as the Township Public Information Officer, Administrator Ferreira, and our health officer, Dr. Belnay, did really exemplary work in keeping the media and the public updated and informed. Their work, coupled with those that I mentioned before, all of our emergency responders, our fire marshal, our OEM, really were outstanding during this crisis. And I would also be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the overwhelming response from the public that we received, the residents of Hillsborough. The outpouring of support from the community in the form of offers to provide food, water, coffee, blankets, shelter, whatever else was needed to make sure that those responders that were on the scene were well taken care of was really humbling and inspiring. And our community truly responded when it was needed most. And we are very proud of what this community did in a time of need. And I can assure you we will be honoring all of those first responders, our firefighters, at some point in the future for their work on this. Here in Hillsborough, we've had our recent share of emergencies, Irene and Sandy. What was unique about this scenario was that we didn't share this with the rest of the state. This was Hillsborough, and all eyes were fixed on Hillsborough. And I am very, very proud of the response and the work that was done by our entire community. It really is an honor and a privilege to be able to represent this community after coming off of an event like that. And on behalf of the Township Committee, we would like to thank everyone that was involved in ensuring the safety of our residents and our community and acting very quickly to help quell the situation. Thank you all very much. And we once again showed all that were watching, whose eyes were on Hillsborough, why this truly is one of the best places to live in America. I thank you all very much. At this time, I'd like to call up Special Agent in Charge George Belsky and Assistant Special Agent in Charge Scott Curley from the ATF if they have any thoughts or comments they'd like to add about their investigation.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. My name is George Belsky. I'm the Special Agent in Charge for ATF here in New Jersey. Better? Okay. Sure. I just wanted to report when we work a fire of this size or any fire, the size and scope of the damage on this required that we bring in our national response team, which is staffed with expert special agents and scientists and chemists that are experts in fire science and determining origin and causes of fires. After working on it for about a week with support from Hillsborough Fire Marshals, the Police Department, State Fire Marshal's Office, we formed a monstrous task force. We probably brought about 50 folks in here to work this fire scene, to determine the origin and cause of the fire. Fires, as you can imagine, they're not extremely easy to, what we say, make a call on. And there's 4 outcomes that can come when you do a fire investigation. The first is natural. Lightning strikes something, fire. Pretty simple stuff. The second is incendiary, which means somebody or something set a fire. It's an arson. The third is accidental. Think of Mrs. O'Leary's cow kicking over the lamp and starting the Chicago fire. Same thing. And the other thing is what's called undetermined. And undetermined sounds like we don't know what happened, and that's not the case. Fire science and calling a fire is very scientific. So the certified fire investigators examine the scene, they find where the fire started, they determine its origin, and then they eliminate various possibilities of what may or may not have caused the fire. So undetermined means we have a theory as to what happened and how, but we can't eliminate absolutely every other possibility, so it remains what's called an undetermined fire. The report that the National Response Team prepares goes through a series of peer reviews, much like a scientific paper, and they've got about 30 days to put that together by ATF policy. So right now, the cause of the fire is ruled undetermined. We do have a very good idea of what happened, and once the report is finalized, we'll release that. But as far as we can tell right now, it's not incendiary in nature. I would be shocked, and I've been getting briefed every night on what these guys were working on. I'd be shocked to find something like that in the report. That's not. We have no indications leaning that way. So I just came back and wanted to report to you guys, and again publicly thank Hillsborough Township for all the support we had during this. Again, this was federal property, and your public safety folks didn't have to be there. But we certainly appreciate the fact that they did come out. And again, we kind of look at these things as we form these large task forces to work these fires, and it also becomes a training event. We have your local guys working with our guys who are experts and work these things all over the country. And so there's an exchange of information. There's a little bit of training that goes on. And our guys learn from the local folks here on the ground as well. So does anybody have any questions? Excellent. Oh, yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
You need to come up, please. Sorry.
Excuse me. Name and address for the record, please.
Maria Janusik, 2155 Camp Road, owner in Hillsborough. What was stored in that warehouse? Was that
In the warehouse.
the warehouse where the fire was?
In
Yeah.
the warehouse where the fire originated, Chris, that was 14C, right? That was,
You're gonna have to take the microphone out just and pass it back to each other so for TV.
Chris, that was 14C. Yes, sir. And that was storage of, that was the Mayflower, correct? Yes, it was. Mayflower, it was records and papers and stuff that was stored in there.
Okay, I think I had read something that there were plastic pellets stored there also that were on fire. Is that?
Not in that building. There was in other buildings that were attached to that, but it was not in that building.
So the plastic pellets were not on fire?
Oh, yeah, they burned. But
Okay.
they weren't where the fire started. Where the fire started was office equipment and papers and files and storage. Those things burned in another section.
Okay, so the fire started in one place, but then spread to where there were the plastic pellets.
Correct.
Now, these plastic pellets, isn't that highly toxic when that burns?
I don't know. But it didn't, it's not toxic any more than regular things that burn. Anything burning is toxic.
Excuse me, I need you to speak into the mic.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
You can take the
Can you take the
microphone
mic
out.
out?
There you go.
Nobody wants to be around a fire that's burning smoke and all that stuff is bad. The plastic pellets that burned didn't cause any greater of a environmental air hazard than anything else that was burning at the time.
Also, who rented out that space? Is it the township or is it a federal agency?
The property is owned by the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs. They sublease it to a private realty company that leases it out to the companies that leased space there. Private companies do.
So was were federal agencies aware of what was being stored there?
I have no idea.
That would be it's
Yeah.
rented out to the real estate company.
I'm sorry, I need you to speak into
It was rented out to the real estate company for a 70 to 90-year lease, and at that point, the transactions between the real estate company and the private companies are between those entities. The federal government owns the property, but it's controlled by the real estate company and the business renting the property. Does that answer your question?
So who would be responsible for making sure that there was proper safety procedures in place as far as a fire or any other kind of safety features? Would it be the private real estate company, or would it be the federal agency?
I really can't give you an answer on that. I have no idea what the contracts are for how that's leased. ATF was brought in as an investigative agency. We have no control, no scope, no history, no influence on any of that. We were brought in because ATF is the federal government's fire investigators. So all of that, I couldn't answer that. You'd have to go, all of that background stuff, you'd have to contact either Veteran Affairs or the private company that leases it from Veterans Affairs.
Yeah, so just to be clear, these guys were conducting the investigation into how the fire began and what happened. As far as the rest of the contracting and stuff, I'm not sure that they can answer one, and I'm not sure that's really what the basis of the questions at this point should be. If you have other questions, that might be, there's probably other parties that you need to reach out to.
Right, well then how much would the township know as far as what was being stored there and safety precautions and, fire precautions and all that kind of stuff?
Again, we have little jurisdiction over that site, so it's really others that have that would be involved in understanding who the leases are to and what's there.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Murphy.
Special agents, thank you very much for being here tonight. Thank you for your work in helping us with the investigation. We appreciate it. And for allowing us to, our fire marshal, working with them so closely on and allowing them to participate with you. We appreciate it. Okay, we are going to move to proclamations and presentations at this point. First up, we're going to do recognition of Hillsborough businesses and organizations that have served the citizens for more than 25 years. I'm going to ask Committeeman Burchett to join me on this. Can I have the New Horizon Christian Fellowship join us? Of course. I would expect nothing less.
Don't blame her.
So this is a certificate of recognition is hereby presented to New Horizon Christian Fellowship in recognition of your 25 years of dedication to Hillsborough Township. We appreciate your support of Hillsborough in many, many capacities. Pastor Wolf, and this is for you.
If we had a building, we'd hang this, but we still meet at Auten Road Intermediate School every Sunday. And I've only been here 12 years, so, you know, I'm young. But 25 years we've had the privilege to serve here. We thank God for that, the opportunity to help in any capacity we can. And anything you need, give us a call or stop by on a Sunday morning at 10:30 at Auten Road Intermediate School.
And I guess the Board of Ed coming up for the Read Across America presentation.
Should Jen come up too?
So whereas the citizens of Hillsborough Township stand firmly committed to promoting reading as the catalyst for our students' future academic success, their preparation for America's jobs of the future, and their ability to compete in a global economy, and whereas Hillsborough Township has provided significant leadership in the area of community involvement in the education of our youth, grounded in the principle that educational investment is the key to the community's well-being and long-term quality of life. And whereas National Education Association's Read Across America, a national celebration of reading, is being conducted on March 2nd, 2016, which would have been the 112th birthday of Theodore Seuss Geisel, better known as Dr. Seuss. And whereas Read Across America, New Jersey is being conducted statewide by the New Jersey Education Association in partnership with the New Jersey State League of Municipalities, the New Jersey Library Association, and their local affiliates across the state to promote reading and adult involvement in the education of our community students. Now therefore be it proclaimed that we, the Mayor and the Township Committee of the Township of Hillsborough, call on the citizens of Hillsborough to assure that every child has a safe place reading together with a caring adult. And be it further proclaimed that we, the Mayor and the Township Committee of the Township of Hillsborough, enthusiastically endorse NEA's Read Across America and Read Across America, New Jersey, and recommits our community to engage in programs and activities to make American children the best readers in the world. To you.
We just want to thank the Township Committee for their support of the school district and encourage everyone to read. Reading can help you learn about the world so you can be great citizens like so many of the people here who make a difference in our community. And even if you read fiction, you are learning how to build your skills and empathy. So we really encourage reading both fiction and nonfiction as often as possible.
Sergeant Oldenburg and your family, please come on up. So in the little less than 2 months that I've had the pleasure of being mayor again, it seems like half the police department decided to retire on I could have said something. That was a great line, too. Nobody heard it.
I was going to say you should take that personally, Mayor. They didn't retire under me, but, you know, whatever.
For those of you that didn't hear it, I said in the 2 months I've been mayor, half the police department, I think, has decided they're going to retire. So I don't know if I should take it personally or not. But here's a proclamation. Sergeant Trevor Oldenburg, a police officer with the Hillsborough Township Police Department, is retiring after 25 years of dedicated service. And whereas on August 8, 1990, Sergeant Oldenburg began his career in the Patrol Division for the Hillsborough Township Police Department. And whereas Sergeant Oldenburg was promoted to Corporal of the Patrol Division on June 14, 1995, and held that position until December 1997. And whereas on May 1, 2000 through December 31, 2001, Sergeant Oldenburg was assigned to the Investigative Division. And whereas on January 1, 2002 through August 31, 2005, Sergeant Oldenburg was assigned to the Patrol Division. And whereas on September 1, 2005 to October 13, 2014, Sergeant Oldenburg was assigned to the Investigative Division and appointed Corporal on January 1, 2010. And whereas on October 14, 2014, Sergeant Oldenburg was promoted to the Sergeant of the Patrol Division, a position he served through his retirement. And whereas Sergeant Oldenburg also served on the Somerset County Emergency Response Dive Team and Somerset County Narcotics Task Force. And whereas Sergeant Oldenburg has received many letters of appreciation from citizens and commendations from the department, recognizing him for his excellent work and dedication to serving the community. And whereas Sergeant Oldenburg has served the Township of Hillsborough and the residents of the community with passion and selflessness throughout his career. Now therefore be it proclaimed that we, the Mayor and the Township Committee of the Township of Hillsborough, hereby express our gratitude for all of the hard work and dedication of Sergeant Oldenburg in the community of Hillsborough. And be it further proclaimed that we, the Mayor and the Township Committee of the Township of Hillsborough, along with his numerous co-workers and the citizens of Hillsborough Township, thank Sergeant Trevor Oldenburg for his valuable contributions to Hillsborough Township, and we wish him well in all of his future endeavors.
Thank you very much. I can honestly say, guys, it's been my pleasure to work with all of you guys. The guys in the back, you know, I consider you guys family, and truly a pleasure coming to work every day. I enjoyed this job, and I'll miss you guys. So, but thank you very much. I appreciate it.
On behalf of the Township Committee and the Hillsborough Township Police Department, I'd like to present Sergeant Oldenburg with the plaque. It says, presented Sergeant Trevor M. Oldenburg, Hillsborough Township Police Department, in appreciation for 25 years of dedicated service to the residents of Hillsborough Township. Good luck in your retirement, February 1st, 2016. I have a feeling, although he's retired from law enforcement, that his actual retirement is not going to come for several years yet. Thanks for congratulations.
Excuse me, I'm Travis Scott Oldenburg from Kingwood Township, New Jersey. Thank you so much for meeting me. You guys are like my #1 favorite people of the whole entire New Jersey.
Could I have Chief Kaminsky and his family come on up? Yet another retirement. Whereas Chief Paul Kaminsky, a police officer with the Hillsborough Township Police Department, is retiring after 26 years of dedicated service. Whereas Chief Kaminsky began his career in the Patrol Division in January 1990 for the Hillsborough Township Police Department. And whereas Chief Kaminsky is a graduate of the 234th session of the FBI National Academy. And whereas from September 1992 through June 1995. Chief Kaminsky was assigned to the Juvenile Bureau of the Investigative Division and appointed to corporal on January 19, 1995. And whereas on July 1st, 1995, Chief Kaminsky was promoted to sergeant. And whereas Chief Kaminsky was the shift commander for the Patrol Division from July 1st, 1995 through June 30th of 1997. And whereas from July 1st, 1997 through January 30th, 2000, Chief Kaminsky was the Training Bureau Supervisor. And whereas on February 1st, 2000, Chief Kaminsky was promoted to Lieutenant. And whereas on August 1st, 2006, Chief Kaminsky was promoted to Chief and has held that position through his retirement on February the 1st of 2016. And whereas Chief Kaminsky has received many letters of appreciation from citizens and commendations from the department recognizing him for his excellent work and dedication to our community. And whereas Chief Kaminsky has served the Township of Hillsborough and its residents with passion and selflessness throughout his career. And now therefore be it proclaimed that we, the Mayor and the Township Committee of the Township of Hillsborough, hereby express our gratitude for all the hard work and dedication of Chief Kaminsky for the community of Hillsborough, and be it further proclaimed that we, the Mayor and the Township Committee of the Township of Hillsborough, along with his numerous co-workers and the citizens of Hillsborough, thank Chief Kaminsky for his valuable contributions to our township, and we wish him well in all his future endeavors in retirement. So, I've been on the committee. This is my 9th year. Obviously, the chief was the chief for that entire tenure. It has been a true pleasure and an honor, Chief, working with you this entire time. While we are sad to see you go, I know that you still have good things in your future, and I'm sure retirement does not mean you're going to be sitting at home doing much of nothing. So we wish you all the best. We hope you will come back, and we thank you for your many years of dedicated service.
We also have a watch and a plaque on behalf of the Hillsborough Township Committee and the Hillsborough Police Department for Chief Kaminsky. The plaque reads, presented to Chief Paul A. Kaminsky. Presented to Chief Paul A. Kaminsky, Hillsborough Township Police Department, appreciation for 26 years of dedicated service to the residents of Hillsborough Township. Good luck in your retirement, February 1st, 2016. You've been a true friend and mentor throughout your career.
I just want to give a quick thank yous to a lot of people. I first want to thank the Township Committee, as well as Administrator Ferrera. I think I worked very closely with each one of you, either not police liaison, Glory, we worked very closely the last 6-7 years, other than that in Mayor. And I want to appreciate and thank you for your guidance and professionalism. Not every chief has the blessing of working so closely with such a positive Township Committee, and I thank you for that. I also like to thank all the members of Hillsborough Township Police Department. We've accomplished many, many things in the last, at least the very least, the last 10 years. And we couldn't accomplish that within the department, as well as making a lot of positive things in the community without dedication and positive workforce. And everyone came to work every day ready to work. And no matter how high we set that bar, you guys met it every single time. And all our accomplishments really had less to do with me and more to do with you. And I thank you, and it was an honor and privilege to work with you all these years.
My chair wasn't good enough, I saw that.
Just give a little. I'll let him sit there as long as he promises not to run against me.
Hello?
Bang it one time and say, see you guys later.
You guys later. Have a wonderful
Did we get a photo of him sitting there yet? Hold on, we didn't. Did we get a photo of him sitting there, Mayor?
Oh, I thought we did.
Did we get a photo?
You want to come up? You want to get a photo?
Want a photo up there? Do you want a photo? We're on recess, right?
Can I take a nice photo?
Why don't you come
Oh,
up?
the higher chair up there.
Okay, thank you to all our proclamation recipients this evening. It's always an honor to be able to recognize those that have dedicated so much time to Hillsborough, particularly Sergeant Oldenburg and Chief Kaminsky for the dedication to the town. They will be missed, but we certainly wish them all the best in their retirement. We do have one final presentation this evening. We have with us this evening Dr. Jordan Schiff, Superintendent of the Hillsborough Township Public School System, here this evening to speak about the special referendum and special election, which was referenced earlier by Deputy Mayor Sirachi, which will be held on Tuesday, March the 8th. Dr. Schiff?
I'm not sure how we're going to follow that, I tell you. Good evening. Thank you so much for...
Sorry.
That's all right. We can rewind it. Thank you so much for inviting us down to talk a little bit about our referendum. I am joined tonight by our vice president of our school board, Jen Haley, who's here with me tonight. We have a brief video that we'd like to show you, and just to get your thinking about the construction referendum on two projects that we're looking at doing. One is the redoing our artificial turf field at the high school, as well as repaving and drainage at the middle school. So with that, I will pause and let you watch the video.
Hold on. Sorry, we had sound earlier.
That's all right. There's music in the background here, and I'll just overdub some information that will be coming up in just a moment. This is our board president, Mr. Tom Kinst, and what he's explaining at this point is that the referendum project are two projects, the turf field as well as the repaving at the middle school. The referendum is going to be held on March 8th for both of those projects. And the funding of it is a great opportunity for us. We will receive debt service aid. 40% of the projects will be covered, and we have the remaining 60% in the bank in our capital reserve. So there is no tax increase that's part of this referendum. By the community voting yes for the referendum will allow us to qualify for debt service aid. The amount of money that we anticipate coming from the state could be up to over $800,000. So here, Tom is encouraging the community to come on out and vote during the March 8th referendum. And then we return to some music and some pictures of our students on the turf field. It's important to note that that our turf field is used not only by our football team, but also by girls and boys soccer team, the girls field hockey team, boys and girls lacrosse, as well as all our physical education programs also use the turf field as well. So it's used by community, by recreational programs throughout the community, as well as through the school district as well. So to kind of sum up, the reason that we need to redo the turf field is that it's at its end of use, at its end of life. There are compression tests that are done to determine whether or not it is safe to play on the field. It is still safe to play on the field. We just did a compression test not that long ago, but it's pacing to a way that eventually it's going to need to be replaced, certainly within the next few years. We can't allow the field to become unsafe. We have a lot of activities that are going on, so we need to redo the field. And that will take place this summer. If the referendum does pass, we'll pay 60 cents on the dollar for both of those projects. If the referendum doesn't pass, we'll be paying 100 cents on the dollar. So this is an opportunity for the community to receive close to $800,000 worth of our taxpayer dollar that goes down to Trenton to return back to Hillsborough. I think it's a very important referendum that you're well informed. We have a great deal of information on our district website, www.htps.us, and there is a whole part of the website that's just dedicated to the referendum. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to contact my office, and we'll be happy to address any question or concern that you have. So that's it in a nutshell. Polls open from 7 to 9. It is a consolidated election, so please make sure you read your ballot carefully to know where you will be voting. So you will, for some of the districts, they will be voting in different locations than what their regular November voting is going to be. All right, we just turn it over to Ms. Haley. We'll share a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Schiff. And I just want to reiterate what Dr. Schiff just said about the consolidated election. For example, I usually vote at Woods Road Firehouse. I'll be voting at the Hillsborough High School instead, so please pay attention to that. And this is important to us as it's very rare that we get money back from the state. We just got our state aid numbers and we came in at 0.4% of an increase, and here's a very good opportunity for the taxpayers of Hillsborough to save by getting 40% of this project paid for if the referendum passes. So I encourage everybody to come out to the polls, and I thank the mayor and the committee for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Any questions or thoughts from the committee that we could answer?
Mayor, can I just ask a quick question?
Of course.
So just to be clear, regardless of the vote that happens on the 8th, that both projects are getting completed, or just the turf field?
The turf field will need to be completed first.
Okay,
And
because it's an
then-
obvious safety issue.
It's a safety issue. We have to complete it first. We don't have enough money in our cap reserve to do both of those projects this summer. So we anticipate that at the end of this school year, we'll make another deposit into cap reserve that will cover the cost of the parking lot, but not for this summer, for the following summer. But remember, that would be 100 cents on the dollar that we would be paying for it. Over $800,000 that could be used for other projects, and certainly we have a lot on the list that we need to do.
Will we be able to get away with not doing the middle school for a whole year? Because it's pretty bad if you ever have to travel there now.
Well, we won't have a choice. So we'll have to,
You
if
have
the
to-
referendum passes, we'll definitely do the middle school this summer. If we don't have enough money in the cap reserve to cover
just have to fill
both
what
of
we
those
can.
costs. We'll just have to continue to muddle through the way that we do.
And to be clear, it's also a safety issue there, correct? Because of the traffic
Yes.
flow, it's a horrible traffic flow situation.
Not only that, but the way that the water pools and ponds, and you saw that freezes over.
Yep.
And it makes it very difficult for us to clear that lot. In fact, at times when I'm making a decision at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning whether or not to delay or open school, the school that gives us the most problem is actually the parking lot at the middle school. So we're actually spending more dollars on more overtime to do more salting and more plowing on that particular parking lot than any other lot in the district.
Okay. Thank you. I think you guys did a great job getting the information out there so people can make an informed decision. So great job.
Thank you.
Yep.
I just would like to add on to that as well. And obviously, you're more informed on this, but with us doing the parking lot, with the way that we would actually be redesigning it as well, so that there would be better traffic flow, not just for parents, but for the buses as well. So that's part of what's included in that cost, is actually redesigning that and making it more efficient as well.
Great. Thank you. Thank you both.
Thank you.
And just one last, so the field would be able to be done over the summer. It wouldn't take, you'd be able to actually physically get it done before the new year starts.
Yes, we timed the referendum
Yeah.
so that if passed, we would be able to get it out to bid, to start the construction project, and to complete prior to the start of the fall season, which, as you know, actually begins earlier than the
August.
start of the school year. Right.
August 1st, yeah.
So that's our plan.
Great.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming out. Very helpful.
And I think I just want to just kind of add that available through the Board of Ed's website is the link to the county clerk's office. So if you can't make the polls, there's an opportunity that you can get the vote by mail application. So that's a convenient way to do that if you can't make it out to the polls on the 8th. So
It's got to be a deadline relatively soon, I would think, right?
about a week before the election. So I believe then March 1st would be the deadline to get your application in, but you could still walk it into the county clerk's office. I think literally the day of, if I'm not mistaken. So there's still an opportunity, so don't delay.
Okay. Thank you again, Dr. Schiff. Jen, thank you very much. So please note that as a result of the fact that the special election is going to be held on Tuesday, March the 8th, we would have had a normally scheduled Township Committee meeting that evening. That meeting will now be held on Wednesday, March the 9th. So anyone that, we will not have a meeting Tuesday, it'll be moved to Wednesday because of the election. So thank you for everyone for joining us for the presentations, and we will take a brief pause in case anyone would like to leave. After, you're welcome to stay, but we certainly give you the opportunity if you'd like to part, and we'll reconvene in just a minute. Okay, we're going to move to new business this evening. I'm sorry, we have no new business. We're going to move to public comment on new business and matters that are not on the agenda. So anyone that has a question or comment on any matters not on the agenda, this is your time to come forward.
Maria Janusik, 2155 Camplain Road. I read in previous minutes that there's going to be zoning officials, Mr. Ferrera and Mr. Coyce. Is that correct?
Zoning
officials.
You mean deputies?
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's correct.
Zoning officials.
No, not officials. No, not zoning officials. We'll be bringing someone on, I believe, consideration number 5 as a new zoning official. I wear enough hats. I won't be a zoning official, but in the last meeting, you're talking about notes as a deputy, meaning that we can go out there and look at signs that might be illegal signs on the weekend to help the zoning official. So we've added 2 deputies, if you will, to help in that capacity.
Okay, I don't have the minutes, so I can't refer to
Sure.
it, but I know that there's a zoning officer.
Correct, and we're
But
going
I
to do
did
that tonight. We're
but
going to
I-
hire an officer tonight.
Right. But David Coyce was the previous zoning officer, and he's changing
Correct.
positions. But I thought I had read somewhere that Mr. Ferrera and Mr. Coyce were going to be zoning officials.
Deputies. So that
That's
it
the
gives them
zoning
the
deputies.
opportunity to go out and, if they see something in town and the zoning officer is not available, they can do some of the.
So is that an additional duty of the administrator?
Correct.
And of,
Correct.
okay. Is
Not
that
new positions, just additional duties assigned
just
to them.
additional duties that are included with what they're getting paid right now?
That's correct.
Okay. Another question I have is regarding the municipal court. We have Hillsborough has shared services with Montgomery Township.
And Manville.
Also now with Manville. So how is payment made to Judge Richardson from Montgomery? How is that allocated? Does he have a set amount
So
he gets
the
paid?
way the agreements work is, we have all of the court employees here in our court. We handle all of the transactions, and we are paid a fee on a monthly basis by both Montgomery and Manville to
Right.
cover those costs, including the judge.
Right, but how much is the judge paid? Is it apportioned, how much the judge will be paid from Montgomery and how much is being paid from Manville? What is he
No,
getting paid?
not specifically for the judge's portion of it. It's simply all of the costs. We receive a fixed fee from both Manville and Montgomery to cover all of our costs. Those costs include the judge and the prosecutor and our court employees and all the other court costs that we have.
Okay, so Hillsborough was paying Judge Richardson something like 70-something thousand a year.
I don't recall his.
Yeah, and so will he be getting more
No.
from Hillsborough, I mean, from Manville and more from Montgomery? Or
All-
what it states in the reorganization minutes, he's going to be paid that 70-something thousand?
His salary is whatever was outlined in the reorganization, and I don't recall what it was.
So the money is that-
And so those are paid by Hillsborough. Those are our employees. We receive fees to offset those costs from the other municipalities to support the court costs.
Okay, so the money that's going to be coming from Manville and from Montgomery goes only for other court expenses. Nothing from that money is going to be going to pay the judge
No, I don't think that's what I said.
beyond what he's getting from Hillsborough.
He has a set salary. I'll put it in my words, and then
Okay.
he has a set salary,
Mhm.
as do all the other court employees,
Mhm.
so that we have a total cost to run our court. That Hillsborough is on Hillsborough's budget. We are reimbursed, we are paid a fee from both Montgomery and Manville, a flat fee each month to offset those costs.
Okay, so whatever.
So they pay a portion of it, Montgomery pays a portion, Manville pays a portion, and obviously we retain a portion.
Okay, so what was shown in the reorganization minutes, what the judge is getting, what the prosecutor is getting, all of that is already included with the monies that are going to be coming from Manville
Correct. They
and
have,
Montgomery.
those costs are fixed, correct. They don't
Okay.
change.
Another question. Eric Bernstein is the labor counsel for Hillsborough?
That's correct.
Is he also the planning board attorney?
He is.
Why isn't that shown in the reorganization minutes that Eric Bernstein is the
The
labor?
planning board has separate reorganization, and it's in the planning board reorganization documents.
So the contract, so the planning board has a separate contract with the
Yes.
planning board attorney?
That's correct.
Okay. The contracts with the attorneys, if there is a maximum of, like, for the township attorney, 50,000, can that be exceeded for whatever reason, or is that what the attorneys pay
The
for the year?
contracts are set up on an hourly rate.
But I believe it says there's a 50,000 in the minutes. It says it gives a limit of 50,000, or it gives an amount of $50,000.
Estimated. Right.
No, I don't think it's estimated.
Well, I mean, my point is, we estimate what those costs may be, but it depends on the activity level of what happens. The billables are charged on an hourly rate.
So why then do you have an amount of 50,000
To set
as a
some,
contract amount?
Excuse me, Mayor. So the way the resolution reads is there's a clause in there that says not to exceed $50,000. And if you go back to minutes from last year or some other year, you'll see, and Nancy Costa, the CFO, is in the back of the room if we have any further questions. But if we get through the year and we are getting close to that 50,000, we have to do another contract for them. Okay, so to the mayor's point, they are paid on an hourly basis based on their bid packets, and then they get a not to exceed clause in the resolution.
I'm sorry, what kind of clause?
It says not to exceed
Not to-
$50,000, so then we can't pay them more than that until we go back and authorize another resolution.
So you would have authorized another resolution in the same year once it gets to
Correct.
50,000, so you can exceed the 50,000?
we'd have to approve additional
They have to go
expenditures above
approved.
that, is the point. So
it just doesn't
we
happen.
set that cap. It's billed hourly depending upon how much activity there is. If we're about to exceed that cap, before additional billing would have to occur, we would have to authorize additional spend.
So then that would be done in the form of a resolution?
Correct.
Okay. Tax appeals, which attorney handles tax appeals in the township?
It's through our
Martin
office.
Allen- Through
Through
your
our
office.
office,
but
it's Martin Allen.
Martin Allen is the name. I couldn't think of his name. Martin Allen.
Through who?
It's
Martin
through-
Allen is
it's
the
through
name, but it's through.
It's through the law firm DeFrancesco Bateman. It's part of the township attorney's designated functions, and Martin Allen from our office specializes in tax appeals. That's what he does.
So is there a separate contract with the attorney who handles tax appeals?
No, there is not. It's just through the township attorney position.
All right, so the township attorney position in the minutes shows that it's William Willard.
That's correct.
But any other attorney from that law firm can come in and do legal work?
Absolutely. You're appointing the firm. In matter of fact, that's what the benefit is of hiring a firm like ours, because we have individuals who practice in a bunch and specialize in a bunch of areas of law. For instance, if I have an environmental concern in this township, I'm going to ask Steve Gunsman to carry it, because Steve Gunsman specializes in environmental law. Martin Allen, all he does is tax appeals. He specializes in tax appeal law. That's why we'd have him handle those matters.
But the contract is,
With
So-
the
With the law
firm.
firm,
It's
Di
with the
Francesco
firm,
Bateman.
not with the individual.
okay, so there is a contract, so who signs that contract then?
The
If it's with
township.
the law firm? Who
The
from the-
township assigns the municipal work to the firm. The firm designates a contact that's our main municipal attorney under the firm, but our contract is with the firm. So we have a contract with Di Francesco Bateman, not Bill Willard.
Okay, so that's a contract between, it's signed by the mayor and by
Yeah,
someone representing the
I-
law firm?
I believe it was signed by the mayor, but it's signed by township officials authorized to sign and the law firm.
Okay. Or is, a copy of that contract is available if someone were to request that?
I believe that's correct, is that,
It's public record.
yes?
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other comments from the public on matters not on the agenda? Okay. We have no public hearings nor introduction of new ordinance this evening, so we're going to move to considerations. Consideration number 1 is a resolution authorizing the award of a contract to Community Visiting Nurse Association for public health nursing services for the residents of the Township of Hillsborough. The visiting nurse contract recommended by the Board of Health enables the township to meet the state mandated requirements of the New Jersey Public Health Practice Standards. Hillsborough has had a long and successful relationship with the Community Visiting Nurse Association. They are particularly helpful in providing a well-staffed professional nursing pool, which helps with our many vaccination clinics throughout the year. May I have a motion?
So moved?
Second.
Any comments from the dais? Comments from the floor? Roll call, please.
Mayor Burchett?
Yes.
Mayor McCauley?
Yes.
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sarachi?
Yes.
Mayor Delacqua?
Yes. Consideration number 2 is a resolution authorizing the hiring of Frank Lucas as a full-time plumbing inspector in the Township of Hillsborough Building Department, effective February 24th, 2016, at a salary of $54,675 per year, and authorizing John Fiedler, construction official, to post for the position of part-time plumbing inspector in the Township of Hillsborough Building Department. There exists a vacancy in the building department in the position of full-time plumbing inspector. The construction official recommends Mr. Lucas for the position. He has been employed by the township for 8 years in a part-time capacity. We welcome him to the full-time position. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Comments from the dais?
Yeah, Mayor, just to advise you, did have an opportunity to interview Mr. Lucas, and nice to, once again, to hire within with the experience and the training that he has to go right ahead and move into that full-time position to help us with those inspections.
Thank you. Anything else from the dais? Any comments from the floor? Yes. Yep.
I just need some clarification. When it says here, post for the position of part-time plumbing inspector, does that mean that he's looking for someone part-time, or what does that mean?
Correct. So the position is being filled, a full-time position is being filled by someone that is currently a part-time employee. So the part-timer will move to full-time, and we're going to fill the part-time
So
position.
you're looking for someone for the part-time
Correct.
position? All right, thank you.
Anything else from the floor? Roll call, please.
Committee Member Burchett?
Yes.
Mayor McCauley?
Yes.
Mayor Thompson?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sarachi?
Yes.
Mayor Delacqua?
Excuse me, sorry. Yes.
Still that birthday cake.
Sorry about that. Consideration number 3 is a resolution authorizing the execution of a contract for an employee assistance program, or EAP, with Princeton Healthcare Systems for the period March 1st, 2016 through February 28th, 2017, not to exceed $3,061.25. Quotes were obtained from one provider. The qualified purchasing agent recommended Princeton Healthcare Systems, who has been the provider for the last 3 years of the EAP. By awarding this contract to Princeton Healthcare, it allows for continuity of service for those participants, and this contract is for the 2016 contract period. May I have a motion?
So moved, Mayor.
Second?
Any comments from the dais? Comments from the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeeman Rochette.
Yes.
Committeeman McCauley.
Yes?
Committeeman Thompson.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sarachi.
Yes.
Mayor Delacqua.
Yes. Consideration number 4 is a resolution extending the contract with Mazer Consulting, PA, for Geographic Information System, GIS services, in an amount not to exceed $12,000 for 1 additional year. This resolution authorizes the extension of the GIS services currently in place. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments from the dais? From the floor? Yes.
Just get an explanation of what geographic information system.
It's basically
services-
mapping.
Mapping?
Provide.
This is something separate from what they would normally do?
No, it's an extended contract they have every year now for the past several years, right?
When you say something, I'm not sure I understand your question, sorry.
Because Mazer Consulting has a contract with Hillsborough.
Correct.
yes?
As an engineer, this is a separate service
So it's
provided.
something- this is
Correct.
something separate from the engineering
Correct.
work. Thank you.
Mhm. Anything else from the floor? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Rochette.
Yes.
Committeeman McCauley.
Yes?
Committeeman Thompson.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sarachi.
Yes.
Mayor Delacqua.
Yes. And consideration number 5 is a resolution authorizing the hiring of Patrick Gorman to the position of zoning officer / assistant planner at an annual salary of $45,000. There exists a vacancy in the position of zoning officer / assistant planner within the township. Mr. Gorman has been recommended for the position by the township planner, and we welcome him to the community, and he's sitting right there. So we welcome him to the township. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any comments from the dais?
Mayor.
Just had a quick comment. Myself and Mr. Maskey and also Mr. Coyce, our former zoning officer, went through many resumes, many interviews, and we're very pleased to have Mr. Gorman join us with his background in zoning and also planning, be able to step right in the job, and customer service obviously important to the township. So feel really very confident in Mr. Gorman joining us. So welcome aboard.
Okay. Any comments from the floor? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Committeeman Rochette.
Yes.
Committeeman McCauley.
Yes?
Committeeman Thompson.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sarachi.
Yes.
Mayor Delacqua.
Yes. We'll move to
Congratulations.
consent
Welcome
agenda.
aboard.
Welcome.
So moved.
May I have a motion to approve?
So moved. I'll
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Comments from the dais? From the floor. Roll call, please.
Did you sponsor?
I just wanted to talk about number 7 and just say, I know Kate's been with us for a while and she's done a great job, so sorry to see her go, but congratulations to her.
Yes. We're sorry to see you go.
But now I second and we're ready to go.
Okay. Roll call.
Committeeman Rochette.
Yes.
Committeeman McCauley.
Yes?
Committeeman Thompson.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sarachi.
Yes.
Mayor Delacqua.
Yes. And we'll move to claims list. Can I have a motion to approve claims list 2016-04?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Committeeman Rochette.
Yes.
Committeeman McCauley.
Yes?
Committeeman Thompson.
Yes.
Mayor Sarachi.
Yes.
Mayor Delacqua.
Yes, that concludes our regular meeting this evening. We do have an executive session scheduled for tonight. Ms. Bork, will you please read the executive resolution?
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 2, they run the public laws of 1975 permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas the Township Committee is of the opinion that such circumstances exist. Now, therefore, be resolved by the Township Committee of the Township of Hillsborough and the County of Somerset, State of New Jersey as follows. Number 1, the public shall be excluded from discussion of the hereinafter specified subject matters. Number 2, the general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is as follows: contracts, library maintenance. B, personnel matter. Mark Hoffman. Number 3, the Township Committee may take official action on those items discussed in the executive session upon the completion of the executive session. Number 4, the minutes of the discussions shall be made available to the public as soon as the matters under discussion are no longer of a confidential or sensitive nature. Number 5, this resolution shall take effect immediately.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
So moved?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Rashad.
Yes.
Mayor McCauley.
Yes?
Mayor Thompson.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sarachi.
Yes.
Mayor Delacroix.
Yes, we are going to move into executive session now. Before we do, just a reminder again that our next Township Committee meeting will be held on Wednesday, March the 9th, not Tuesday. So thank you, and we're going to move into executive session. Good evening.